Ikmin 269 is one of the single most absurd things I have ever been a witness to. The name, I'm assuming, is a reference to Pikmin 251, which was one of my favorite Pikmin 2 ROM hacks that I played 300 years ago. Since then, Pikmin 2 hacks have advanced pretty far, and as a huge fan of the game and the series, it is always exciting to see another one of these. Not to mention, we're finally getting an actual Pikmin game this year, so you could say that this is the year of Pikmin. When I first heard about this hack, I assumed that it was just going to be a reskin of Pikmin 2, but every texture and model was replaced with Shrek or something. Turns out that was only half true. There is only one Shrek in this game. Pikmin is not a mere reskin. This is a new thing, a big new thing, a ballistic, bombastic, lunatic new thing. It is worth noting that this game is actually the third game in a series of Pikmin games, from what I understand. Much like Metal Gear, Zelda, and Witcher, kids today have never even heard of the first two games. Maybe I'll circle back to them at a later date, but this game has Mr. Krabs in it, so it gets priority. On the surface, it looks like a one-trick pony thing that was cobbled together in a weekend by a monster addict, but it was actually a huge collaborative effort of many Pikmin hacking community members. And once you actually sink your teeth into the game, it's very clear that this is a very deliberate and high-effort piece of work. Pikmin 269 follows Scoob and Gaily on their quest to steal a bunch of NFTs, that's non-fungible trophies, in exchange for big crypto coins. They are deep in debt after Shrek spills beer on their crypto farm and destroys it in the process, so you seek the help of Pikmin, who are all weird and different now, to navigate a deadly planet while Shrek communicates with you via Discord DMs, but then gay Olimar Wario Man turns Gaily into an NFT, so Jimmy Neutron gives you nanomachines to save Liquid Snake from the BLTs. The big gimmick of this hack is that everything is memes, whether it's old memes or new memes or even a bear. It's good times, it's bad times, it's slightly less old memes that we share. Oh, my name is Cleveland Show. I just went way off script. The best way I can sum up this hack is by saying that it's kinda like if you let SMG4 make a Pikmin game.
Will you be the father of my babies?
Your ship is a giant T-posing Ouija, dwarf Bulborbs are replaced by toads who all say bup, Snagrits are replaced by Link from the CDI game, except the ones with feet who are the king, and he goes, "Dinner, my boy." All the textures are replaced with a JPEG of The Rock. You get attacked by little Jeff the Killers, Banjo's severed head tries to eat you alive. Mr. Krabs will try to kill you, and of course, every single other character in this game is actually Waluigi in disguise, and also, I'm pretty sure the Piccolopedia map is just the default map from Gary's mod. There is a real difficulty with reviewing games like this because so many ridiculous things happen within 5 minutes of pressing the start button that I can't even figure out what to talk about first and what to prioritize. It probably sounds like I just spoiled half the game for you just now, but I didn't. There are so many little details that have just been turned into a goofy ass meme that I could not sum it up if I tried. For me, the real humor of this game comes from the plain and simple fact of the ridiculous amount of effort that was put into making sure that happened. And that's the really ironic thing about this game. Even though it is extremely outlandish, there is a very real, demonstrable, measurable amount of effort put into the game. Pikmin 269 is a very deceptive game because on its surface it just looks like somebody threw a bunch of shit into Pikmin 2 and that's it, but when you actually play it, it becomes instantly clear that it's way more than that, as the absurdity is reflected in the gameplay as well. And just the very fact that there is this much effort into an otherwise dumbass concept makes it all the more funny. On top of new character models and animations, enemies have new behaviors. Even the Pikmin are entirely original and don't behave the same way they do in the base game. Caves now have this system where you have to find keys to unlock the next sub-level, adding a new incentive for further exploration. The caves are a mix of reworked caves from the original game and new ones that weren't there to begin with. As this is a game in a series, some of these may have been in the previous hacks, I don't know for sure, but there is a really cool level of Waluigi pinball where you go all the way to the top of the pinball machine to grab the key, and then you stand at the top watching the Pikmin carry everything all the way back down. It's such an oddly rewarding moment watching that happen. This is what I play these ROM hacks for. And then there's the remixed music. It's always nice to see that. They take from all kinds of sources, not just meme crap, but also tons of games that just happen to be really good. You even got this Rainbow Road level from Super Mario Kart. I think for me though, my favorite levels are the ones with a bunch of dynamite all over the place that let you pick up bombs and chuck them at enemies to kill them. Speaking of which, they replaced the Ultra Bitter Spray with the ability to produce a bomb just by burping, which is the funniest shit in the world. Pikmin 269 is an incredibly complete game. The volume of content rivals the original and it is absurd. They even brought back the challenge mode and added a 2-player feature for the campaign. Every single creature and treasure has its own logbook entries like the original game, and they all give you a very real insight into the psychology of these characters and their dynamics. And as a bonus, they have an AI that writes a haiku for every single entry. Look at the one for Vaporeon. Ugh. You sick son of a bitches. I guess if there's one beef I have with this game is that it doesn't know when to chill the fuck out. In all my years talking about these things, I think the thing I criticize the most heavily is when the game just decides that it's gonna be quirky and goofy by being ridiculously hard. Many ROM hacks are guilty of this, and sadly, as you approach the end of Pikmin 269, it falls victim to this mentality as well. Watching the footage unfold in retrospect is really funny as you're exposed to one bizarre situation after another while you're getting tag teamed by Mr. Krabs and Barry Benson from Bitch Ass B Movie. But when it's actually happening, it is infuriating and makes me feel like I'm gonna die in real life. It's definitely intentional, at least partially. The high difficulty can make it less fun in the most extreme circumstances, especially when the game also busts out a lot of troll mechanics. Literally. The nectar is replaced by this green goo that makes your Pikmin slow and dumb, and having them drift through the air at a glacial pace, making them absolutely useless in battle. There are also enemies that can just flat out kill you in a single hit from full health because every game has to be Dark Souls, otherwise it's not a real video game. Also, they patched out the exploit where the two characters can drink from one spicy spray droplet, getting 2 for 1. Those sneaky bastards. Overall, Pikmin 269 is a game that is rough around some edges, but it's also a game with a lot of heart and soul put into it. It's one of those games where you can tell the people making it were having fun, and that's always great to see. If you can put up with these bullshit moments and you are an appreciator of the golden age of YouTube poops, I do recommend this. For dinner. Tomorrow's video is on another insane game, but in a bit of a more psychotic way. Can you guess what it is? If you're psychic, you might be able to. Merry summer, y'all.